Welcome to today's in-depth video market update on our North Okanagan, Central Okanagan, and Shuswap real estate markets. We're about to dive deep into the latest statistics that are shaping these regions, so grab a seat as we analyze the trends and the numbers and the statistics that are essential for buyers and sellers alike. I'm Lisa Salt with RE/MAX Vernon Salt Fowler, and remember to just add salt for that extra layer of real estate expertise. Let's begin by examining the sell to inventory ratio. That is our absorption number once again in the market. That's a crucial metric that tells us how many homes are being sold compared to the number available. In the North Okanagan, we're seeing a ratio of 16.06%, reflecting steady sales against inventory. North Okanagan actually performed the best this past month, whereas if you'll remember, the Shuswap outperformed the other two areas in January. Central Okanagan market is at 11.11%. That suggests a slightly more competitive landscape for sellers. And then meanwhile, the Shuswap has a ratio of 12.06%, slightly higher than Central, not as good as the North, at least for February. Next, let's consider the average days to sell. That's the pace at which homes are selling on average in each of the individual markets. In the North Okanagan, homes are taking about 102 days to sell, while the Central Okanagan properties are moving faster at an average of 77 days. That's a significant amount faster, really, than both the North and the Shuswap, whereas Shuswap strikes pretty close to the North with homes selling at around 97 days. If this was a contest, Kelowna and the Central Okanagan wins in the fastest selling properties division. New listings are always a hot topic, obviously. How many new listings on the market each month? That signifies fresh opportunities and market fluidity. In February, all three markets outperformed 2022, with the North Okanagan bringing on 258 new properties on the market, which is a significant 22.86% increase over last year. Central Okanagan outpaced with 997 new listings, which is 29.31% of a jump. Shuswap, although smaller, added 181 new listings and up by 25.69% year over year. Now, if you compare these to last year's totals, we're seeing a market that's expanding with more choices for buyers, and that's happening already in February. We usually see this a little bit later in what we would consider our spring market. This year, it seems that the spring listing increases have started a little bit early. Now let's look at the total listings on the market at month end. North Okanagan's total listings are now 1,070, which is up 25.44% year over year. Central Okanagan's total listings have reached 2,880, which is 28.23% more than the previous year. And Shuswap's listing count is 652, 8.33% above last year's number. So all markets increased. It's just that the Shuswap didn't increase quite as much compared to the other two markets year over year. The North and Central are expanding at a faster pace. Now, just for fun, let's look at waterfront homes on the market. This is always a category that draws attention. Year to date, the North Okanagan has listed 21 waterfront properties, up from 15 last year at the same time. Central Okanagan has 41 new waterfront listings already, which is a huge increase from the 24 last year. And the Shuswap shows 18 listings, improved from last year's 13. So promising growth in the assortment of waterfront properties early in the year if you're a buyer considering a move to the lake or a lakefront vacation home in any of the markets. Now let's look at the sales activity. In the North Okanagan, we recorded 104 sales in February, slight dip of 1.89% from last year. Central Okanagan, 268 sales, down by 6.62%. Then on the other hand, Shuswap experienced a big increase of 28.21% with 50 sales this past month. So interesting. I suspect that may be because the Shuswap has a lower price point than the other two markets, but good for the Shuswap. Way to outperform. All right, buyers, here's the inside scoop. When you're eyeing those listings, think of the sell to inventory ratio and the days to sell. That's your secret weapon. Those are your secret weapons. They tell you how quick on your feet you need to be. In a place like the North Okanagan, Vernon, that has the higher absorption, houses are selling more quickly, so you need to be ready to jump when you see what you want. There's not a lot of time to waste. You have to get that pre-approval in place, get it locked down. There's more on the market now, actually quite a bit more, as we said, in every market than there was at this time last year. So your choices are better. But remember, in any market, the good ones go quick. Interest rates went down a bit, yay. However, don't forget, just as we saw a few years back, when rates go down, prices have a tendency to go up. So be careful not to over-negotiate if you find the perfect home. You should link up with a real estate pro who's got the lowdown on all this stuff. Don't mess around. Now for my sellers out there, let's talk strategy. It's all about nailing that sweet spot with your price tag. In all markets, your buyers are out there, but they're not really rushing. So a little patience and some smooth talking during negotiations could go a long way. Don't get too cocky with those price tags. Nobody likes a house that's been sitting on the market forever. Interest rates, as we said, have come down a bit, yet now there's more homes on the market year over year, like a lot more homes. It's the low housing supply that's been keeping prices up. So we will see what happens in the coming months because, as I said, the numbers are up substantially for inventory year over year so far. Regardless, if you want to sell sooner than later, price smart, and you could be passing your keys over faster than you thought. Remember, like I just said, more inventory means more options for buyers, so make your place the hottest ticket in town. Make sure to hire a realtor who's as clued up as you are now. That's the real game changer for sealing the deal. Call us, we can help. We foresee continued reasonable market strength in the rest of this quarter. These numbers are a decent start to our spring market, but we are seeing a lot more choices for buyers, so that means more competition for sellers. For more detailed understanding and personal guidance, get in touch with our expert team of real estate professionals and just add salt. See you next month.